Hello and welcome to this edition of Iron Sports, and I am Jermaine Brown. Well, in this edition, we review the greatest high school track and field meet in the Western Hemisphere. Of course, the ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships with all the victories, the defeat, the thrills, and the spills from all 5 days. As usual, let us know what you think by heading to our Facebook page, Iron Sports JA. We take a break, but stick around when you come back. We do our official post-mortem, and no, not morticians in the house, but two of the best young journalists. Soon come.
Clean break, first time for the Class 4 Girls 200 meters final. Brianna Liston is already off to a great start, covers Mackinac on her outside and goes after faster from Mount Alvernia, sweeps around her as well. Tina Clayton is running a good race, so Edwin Allen on the outside, but Brianna Liston is in command of the field. Mackinac of Idell is back in second. Brianna Liston is dominating the field. Watch the clock, that's what we're talking about. Brianna Liston to the line. There is the record now. She didn't get it in the semi-final because of the wind, but for the first time at Girls Championship, a Class 4 girl breaks 24 seconds legally. Wonderful performance from Brianna Liston. She's your sprint of a champion. She is your 200 record holder, and she is one of the darlings of Girls Championships 2017.
As Hubert would have said, Ricardo, she has gone in uncharted territories. 23 going below 24 seconds.
And for many, one of the, if not the top performance from the 2017 ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships. Welcome back to Iron Sports. And of course, the ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships culminated on Saturday with Calabar and Edwin Allen retaining their respective titles. Edwin Allen, they won their 5th title in 6 years with 304.5 points, just over 50 points clear of second place Hydel. While in a fiercely contested battle on the boys' side, Calabar, they edged Kingston College by just 3 points, 317 to 314 points. But who were the standout athletes and standout performances? Well, to give a rewind of the championships are two of our very own in-house commentators and analysts, Jordan Fort and Ricardo Chambers. Gentlemen, welcome to Iron Sports. First time now? Well, tell you, for many, and Brianna tops our list here, 23.72. Ricardo, I'll go with you first. The commentary there as well. I could feel the goosebumps from here. Was that the top performance for you?
It certainly was one of the top performances, Jeremy.
Was it the top performance for you?
It was one of the top performances for me. Right. But I have to admit, though, I actually enjoyed the semi-final performance more, the 23.46 seconds, although it was aided by a 2.2 meters per second wind, yes. Just over the allowable limit of 2.0. But I just felt that being the absolute first time that 24 seconds had been broken by a Class 4 girl. So though it wasn't legal, I just thought that performance in itself was, for me, just a little bit more special.
Jordan, she topped your list, and let's put it into further context. A Class 1 girl would have been happy with 23.7 and making the final. Now here's a Class 4 girl running that time and winning by a mile.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was spectacular, obviously. But at the same time, I don't know if it's because we're commentators and analysts. We get so immersed in it, it's very difficult to choose one that stands out, because Kevona Davis also stands out in my mind. And of course, she won with a record in Class 3, and she broke Anisha McLaughlin's record from 2001 that many thought was untouchable.
Yes, that was 23.11. That was Anisha's
That was 23.11 was Anisha's record.
23.07.
23.07 from Kevona. So, I mean, even that, and there were so many other highlights. It's hard to pick one, but Brianna Liston certainly as a 12-year-old running sub-24 is fantastic.
You speak of Kevona, we have her race there on screen. It was anticipated that she would have been maybe the top female performer at the meet, certainly on the track. Didn't go so well for her in the 100, came back in the 200 though, and 23.07. Ricardo, touch on that for me as well.
Yeah, you have to admire the coverage because the courage, because after the disappointment of the 100 on Friday, it wouldn't have been easy for her to get back up less than 24 hours later and come for the 200 meters. Who knows? Maybe not running the 100 final on Friday night saved a little bit in her legs, and she was able to really go after what many people thought before this year was an untouchable 200 record. Remember, 16 years it had been there since Anisha McLaughlin set it in 2001. Absolutely stunning. And the performance from Kevona was just out of this world. 23.07. And as Bruce James pointed out during commentary, that's a world championship qualifying performance for a girl who is only in class 3. That's special.
And by the way, the year after Anisha set the 23.11, she went on to win silver at the World Junior Championship, just to put it into further context. Another stunning performance would have been in the field. Now, sometimes we miss what's happening in the field, though we covered everything at Champs Field and track. But Kevin Niedrich of Petersfield, there he is in the Class 1 boys shot put, a national junior record 20.65 meters to win the event. Jordan, just how stunning was that?
You know, Jermaine, when we had a couple of Calabar standouts, Warren Barrett and Kyle Mitchell throwing over 19 meters at Champs, you know, it seemed outstanding. We're having two athletes going over 19 meters consistently. And then I think one of those guys ended up going close to 20 meters. And so, you know, that was outstanding at the time. And now to see Kevin Nedrick go 20.65, so far
closer
beyond...
to 21 meters.
Exactly, closer to 21 meters. So far beyond that 20-meter mark. That was outstanding. Again, context, missed out on the gold in the discus and missed out on the gold in the javelin, which many thought he would have been favored, specifically in the javelin throw, because we knew Roger Stoner was a big competitor in the discus. And to come back after that and not only get the gold, but with that, you know, emphasis, point of emphasis, that record.
The previous record would have been 20.15 by Ashina Miller.
Yeah, that was the national junior record.
Right.
So he had two records with him, the Champs record and the national junior record, which was held at 20.15. And remember, leading into Champs, he had thrown 20.08 at the Carifta trial, so you knew he was in good shape. I think he was extra motivated going into the shot put as well, because he was second in the discus, second in the javelin, as Jordan said. I didn't see him after the discus, but I saw him after the javelin, and he was visibly disappointed with his performance there, because having set a national junior record in qualifying for that event, he was going in there expecting to win the gold medal, and he didn't. And you could see, like, he just let out all his frustration in that shot put.
Right. So well done to Kevin.
Well, very well done to him. This year, I think
his final year, is it?
It's his final year, and I think what he would have to look forward to is the Pan Am Junior Championships now. So hopefully he'll be able to sustain that form all the way through to the summer and be able to deliver quality performances there as well. Just a little bit unfortunate that this is not a World Junior year.
Right.
So he would be able to try and perform on that stage.
Now, Class 2 boys, 800 meters, Kimar Farquharson turned up in wonderful form and shape at Champs this year and got that record, as we're looking on screen there, in the heats, a minute 51.26 to win the Class 2 boys event, breaking a record that stood from 1998 or 1997 by Alwyn Sappleton, then attending Edwin Allen. This another long-standing record broken, and in a middle distance event, which over the years we've not had the type of incredible performances or encouraging performances, Jordan.
Yeah, this was one of the standout performances to me on the boys' side on the track. You know, because even though we're a sprint crazy nation, to see somebody do this in the 800 meters, to see Kimar Farquharson with the kind of courage he had, you know, heading into championships, I don't think many would have said that he was going to shatter that record. You know, people were expecting, yes, he can go close, he has the talent, but the bravery he showed, he just went out there. There was nobody in his league to follow him. Took the first lap in, I think, 53 plus, and just cruised around in the second lap, even eased down at the end, and still got the record. I think that was fantastic. The bravery shown, I think, was one of the most impressive things.
What about the strategy as well, Ricardo, for him to go at the record from the heats?
Yeah. Well, the Calabar coach, Michael Clark, has been known to send athletes to break records before the final. I first saw it with Ramon McKenzie when he was in Class 2 and he went out to the 200 and 400 records there. Then you saw it a few years with Christopher Taylor in Classes 3 and 2 at 400 meters. When I heard, and I think I heard the night before, that there would be a possible record attempt, I said, oh no, no, not this one. Because I thought the record was so outstanding, and at 800 meters, it can be difficult sometimes to kind of gauge yourself. And I just wondered,
then to come back.
Yeah, I just wondered if he went after it and didn't get it, what that would do psychologically, one, to the Calabar team chasing champs, but two, to him as well, because of course this is a record. But obviously he was so confident. Obviously they would have done that in training quite a number of times, because he would have gone faster than the record leading into champs. But to think that he could come into the first round, break it easily, and then cruise through the rest of the championship. And I put this to you, gentlemen, that if he wanted to break that record again, I think he could have. I think he is good enough to go 1 minute 50 point. And I think given real competition, he is good enough to maybe even challenge sub 1 minute 50. And if he gets to go to the World Youth Championships this year, we'll see. We'll get a good indication.
Yeah, and this easily would have placed him in the Class 1 boys event too. Definitely a challenger in the Class 1.
Well, no, he wouldn't have won it. Yeah,
right.
minute 50
but he would have been right there with the top two.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be heading to a break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at a few of the other records which were broken, including the sprint medley and a host of others. In fact, some 17 records were broken overall at champs this year. Soon come.